Hey guys, welcome inside the world of my song, My List. Come on in. So I wrote this song on the piano in 2022, and it was the first song that I've ever wrote on a piano. And it was a very profound experience. I wrote everything in one go, but the scheme of the song was very different. The outro was actually a second verse, I think, so it was all very different, and I had to eventually come up with this different structure. The song has 4 different chord progressions, but I think they blend flawlessly, and I was very confident after I wrote this song, and I'm always confident in my songs. I think it's an important part of my process, but this one especially, it was the first time I finished a song and I was like, this is good. I think this is good. And that was very exciting for me at the time because it was my first song on the piano, and after that I felt really inspired to write on the piano for a long time. That's how I Reject Reality came up. It was the second song, and now I really like to play on the piano. I'll play a little bit of this song. You say you don't cheat, but we cheating on her. You grab my waist as if you're in love. You can't help it. You just love to cave. Grab my arm in a rush, so you don't kiss with shame. You say you like my hair, but your girl is blonde. Say you love the ways that she doesn't own you. Choke me slowly, and I let you go. We've made boundaries, so we don't know. So this was the first time we had another character that it was not me on the music video. We have Nuno, this incredible actor. It was very important for me because the song describes this relationship between these 2 characters. He's very insecure in his own relationship, so he seeks validation outside, and she just wants validation and feed her own ego, so she enters this game with these intentions. It's a battle of egos and power. So during the song I used the word checkmate, and that's how I felt about this dynamic. It was a battle of power, and that's how chess entered this music video and this world of this song. And I really wanted to have a full game from start to finish, and so I asked my siblings, David and João Pedro, who love chess, to help me craft this game from start to finish. So I had a few requirements. There had to be some kind of confrontation between the 2 queens, and mine had to step back, and eventually they would die soon on the game. And I really wanted to subtly portray this narrative of these 2 female characters that are facing each other, not directly but through this other person. It was really important for me to have this confrontation between the 2 queens early on the game. So in the beginning of the song we have this mention of another female character, and this confrontation she's always avoiding and stepping back, and this avoidance costs her a queen and her integrity as well. Eventually his queen dies as well, as a metaphor for the respect he has or hasn't for this other woman. Another thing I really wanted to happen on the game was that he would win in the end, but throughout the whole game she would think she had the upper hand. And you see that until the end, when they're talking to each other, she's just telling him to watch out because she really thinks she is winning. And if you see the lyric video, you can see the full game, and you see that she could have won earlier on, and the same for him, but they never do. And the thing I really wanted to show is that she's so blind by this person, she can't see what's happening in front of her. And he is so entertained by how in control he is that he really wants her to think she's in control until the end, and then to strike his last move. When we crafted the game, we already had the script. The script was the first thing I had for the music video, was the first idea. And I wrote the script, and then I wrote the music video around the script and this dialogue they're having. And initially I really wanted to do a short movie, but eventually it made more sense to have this final interaction after the whole game played. I wanted to go deeper on both of their personalities and their interactions. So we see throughout the whole game they're flirting and they're having this chemistry, but I really wanted to show how naive she was during the whole interaction and how in control and entertaining he was. He doesn't shame her for her unawareness, but he's simply entertained and is watching. So in the end of the game he wins, and she's clearly shocked, but she's not shaken. I think there is a part of her that likes the idea of not being in control all the time. So this dynamic of power that she really wants to have the power and then she loses the power is just a game she's fighting with herself. So the music that plays during their dialogue is a variation of the outro of the song. I really like the melody of this outro and I wanted to play with that melody and try to make this instrumental piece that I could use during the dialogue. And we landed on this idea with the strings, me and Luís Coutinho, and then we played with the tempo of the song and we stretched it, the melody to take much longer. And I really liked the melody and you're listening to it right now, I think. The dance was an idea that came later on. The jazz has this physical distance and it was really good to show the power and the flirting, but it didn't show this other capacity of the relationship. So I thought that the dance could show this physical relationship that has some flirting but also distance and then closeness, and it's very dynamic, and the dance I think portrays that really well. The idea of the city was intuitive. It's also something that is written on the song. It's mentioned that they're in a crowded city but they're alone or they feel alone. And so I wanted to show this little world of theirs where the city really feels empty and they're just there with each other. I love this idea of the dark room, the city at night, this ambience we were building. So when I thought about doing a different take on the song, it felt very obvious to have this jazz version. So I did the arrangement and then Luís Coutinho assisted, and then I was lucky enough to gather this big band of people that were willing to join me in this wild ride. And I really thought that the song called for movement, especially the arrangement, so I had a friend of mine, Martini, join me and choreographing this dance, and I really think all of this fits really well with this world of my waist. He asks her for a drink and she says espresso martini, and you're asking yourself, why espresso martini? Well, can you see through murky water? This one is just a regular martini. Thank you so much for stepping inside the world of my song, My Waist. I hope to see you very soon. Very flawlessly. Appreciation. Chaz entered this music. His queen, as she loses her integrity. Pá, porra, as minhas palavras não saem em inglês. It's a metaphor. Avoidance costs her her queen. The respect he's of this confrontation between the two queens early on. Isto está clássico ou não? Okay. Agora esqueci-me de dizer mais uma coisa. There's these dimensions that happen. Opa, olha, vou chegar com o shot.
Ok.
Não é? Porque
Nem se nota o erro que tu fizeste.
Pois é. É isso.